Hello, everybody. Hello. How y'all doing? Please tell me I had the web audio off. I did. Very good. And audio is off for this, but it's not telling me. You know, I love that we have the sensitive social issues on stream. And we are playing Hiveswap. I feel this is appropriate. Hello, Demon Zeri. Hello. I hope you are having a good day. Also, I'm going to bring back up the game volume. I forgot what game we were playing. Where that need to be? No, I remember. It was no, Undertale's audio didn't work. There's a song that came up that was really loud. I remember that. Do 7.5 will adjust it as need be. Yes, hello, Demon Slayer. Hello, everyone. I hope you all had a good weekend. I love women. Just have to get that out of the way as always. I am tired, but I'm well fed. Oof. That sandwich I made hit the spot. I probably only need to make one next time. I was feeling kind of really hungry this morning, or this afternoon, I should say. I was like, do it for 2 sandwiches. No, I could just do one, probably be fine. Maybe if I want to. Maybe I could also do like one hash brown, because we have like a bunch, so I can just cook one up in the air fryer and let that go on. I still need to go to the gym today. I am not looking forward to that because I truly just want to pass out. Last night I didn't get much sleep. Well, I kept checking my email. Like after I woke up at 6:30. And then I was like, I didn't sleep much last night. We're gonna keep sleeping. I kept waking up every hour to check my email to see, okay, is there any news about like the interview or whatever? And it was only at like 9, I think, where it's like, oh, hey, here's a time for it. And it's on Wednesday. And I thought it was going to be a lot more. I thought it was going to be like a technical interview. I thought it was going to be a sit-down panel. No, it's a phone interview where they just kind of get to know me, you know? And I will ace that part. Only issue being maybe I need to remember the actual experience that I had and maybe potentially list so good at the phone. I am. I'm good at talking to people. For those that weren't there, there was someone like last Monday or Tuesday, I think, where it's like, why are you farming here? And this is during the WoW stream, in case I didn't say. I forgot already. Anyways, like, why are you here right now? You just come back at level 6 to do this farm. And like there's another character over there. They're in class with a hunter. We don't need to know what that is. All you need to know was I told them to get the fuck out with their loser mentality, because why would I give the hunter player anything in this world? They deserve nothing. And them just existing is a burden that no one should have to tolerate. So I feel like my communication skills are pretty good. I don't like being mean in video games, but when you're dealing with people such as those who came in on Monday or Tuesday morning, it's better to let them know their place in life as such as them, with their loser mentality. Also, Sale, get the fuck down. I have to. Nope. Nope, Sayla, fuck you. Oh, going limp, I see. Making it hard for me to pick you up. Oh, gotcha. She went bug-eyed. She's looking at like another wall and is like, I want out. I want freedom. How do I get out? I love you, Sayla. Even though you're not that smart. And you're evil. Evil. Alright, down you go. I was on call with Pivot earlier, and you normally can't hear the cats, but I was on my phone on Discord on my phone, and all he heard is just Sayla going, because she wants so much attention. And like I was right next to her petting her, but she like just kept meowing and meowing. He's like, you have a chatty cat. It's like, yeah, she really wants attention. And she's always been like that. All right, we will start shortly. No biting my hand, woman. All right. All right. Of Teen and Tech Ackerbick? Ah, yes. This is it, fellas. Another night of laughter and camaraderie. Another night of joy and communion with some totally normal teens who would never... Just kidding. Just kidding, idiot. You are still on Alternia. You just know one of these miserable chuckle fucks is around here somewhere, waiting for the exact right moment to inundate you with another disgusting dose of friendship. Who's going to be the author of your destruction on this accursed evening? Blue blood or jade? Let's start with trouble. Interesting. By the way, she's an indigo. They're all blue to me. I refuse to know the color spectrum properly. This reminds me of that one clip from Parks and Recreation where Tom gets in the one guy's case where he's like, oh, you think that's black, and just starts like going against like the chart and saying what every color is, then puts it up to his own face like, am I black to you too? No, I think he puts up to his black suit and goes, is this black to you too? I'm just like, okay, champ. Dim lights, the din of a roaring crowd, and the smell of horribly overpriced and nauseating concessions. Even across galaxies, timelines, and perhaps even universes, there is still something deeply familiar for Sporting Arena. Smash your mother honking face in. There's also some deeply familiar about sports fans. Well, it's such a shame having seats next to the purples. It'd be so crude and forced, don't you think? So who wouldn't be nearly this loud? Usually. Find yourself here, attending a wrestling show, a display of muscular theater, to use a troll terminology, thanks to the benevolence of one Amicia Erden. She won the tickets in the raffle and excitedly invited you to come along. You agreed with some reservations that you expressed quickly. She was quite disappointed, but eventually agreed not to kidnap you and keep you locked up to the living paint jar since you're buddies and all. What a sweet friend. You have to admit, though, muscular theater isn't really your thing. It's as over-the-top and ridiculous as human wrestling, which makes it perfectly entertaining enough, but it's also, well, a lot more violent. Participants aren't expected to die, as far as you can tell, but you've already seen a few get wheeled off on futuristic cover structures with injuries you're not so sure they can survive. Oh gosh, you nearly got impaled there. Every match tonight is taking place within a chain-link cage, spikes surrounding on both the outside and inside, and just out occasionally from the places where the wires cross. The overall design, in addition to ensuring maximum bloodshed, seemed to keep both the wrestlers inside and the audience out. Ironically, it might be safer this way. Current commands are some olive blood named the Huntress and a purple blood calling himself Culpits. Interestingly to you, there's nothing clown-like about him at all. It is almost conspicuous how unclownly he is, if only due to the absolutely ridiculous amount of clown content you have imbibed in the presence of other purples. The two fighters appear to be nearly evenly matched. The olive troll ducks and weaves amid blindingly fast punches from the purple, slashing at him with grandiose arm gestures, trying to overwhelm him with a barrage of small attacks. Every one of his punches hits hard enough to knock her down, but she always springs up before he can land a second hit. She's incredibly steady on her feet, and quicker than he. In fact, you get the distinct impression that the olive troll is holding back, presumably as to avoid inciting the crowd. Thus far, you have not seen a single match in which the lower-blooded opponent triumphed over a higher-blooded foe. I must admit, this match is a lot more tense than I was expecting, but I hope it ends soon. There's supposed to be a really famous muscular theaterist performing next. Her name is Nikki Mula, and she hasn't ever lost a fight. I heard she's even beat a Violet Blood once. Nikki Mula, huh? Now that's a name you can befriend. She must be as big a deal as Amicia makes her out to be, because she uses her real name instead of some ridiculous made-up nonsense, like John Cena, or Hulk Hogan, or Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Oh look, he got her! You flinched. The purple blood finally managed to get his quarry into his clutches, and he lifts her up by the face, digging his fingers into her skull until you hear a sickening crunch and she collapses to the ground, panting heavily. She can't bring herself back up to her feet, and the announcer calls the match to uproarious applause from the audience. Two trolls enter the cage and start dragging her out, while the winner basks in the audience's affection. The olive blood looks like she'll probably live, but she got a dent in her face that probably isn't coming out ever. Yeah. All of a sudden, you think you really need to go get a bathroom? You mean use the snack? You mean you'll be right back? Oh, okay, come back soon. This fight is giving me all sorts of ideas for a new painting. You quickly make a break for it, jostling your way through the stands and towards the exit of the arena. But before you make it, a voice calls out to you. Some slick-haired and slick-fine violet-blooded guy wearing a full suit with a tacky flame pattern on it. Ho ho ho, who do we have here? Oh, on the far right, there's a troll that has the expression of the comic that Dave and his brother made. I forget the name of it, but like that guy has that same expression. Sweet bro and hella Jeff, thank you. Yeah, there's a troll on the very far right, very edge, right above the guard. You can see it, and it's just behind my head. Actually, he has that same mouth. Also, these trolls just look like what I expect. They look like the chibi version. You can also see a John in there. I do see a guy with the same glasses as John. Yeah. Yep. No, I see him. Like on the left side, you go up like the very edge of like that second barrier. I can see that John. Unless there's another one. No, that might be that. No, that should be John right there. Hey, you alien. Me, you ask, pointing to yourself nervously. No, the other alien. Swing your head wildly, looking for the other alien. This bit plays out predictably for a while before you both get on the same page, which is that you are the alien whose attention he wants. You looking making a little extra buck? No, not really. You never spent all that money you won with Azja. Okay, how about fame? Frankly, you're probably already too famous for your own good. Friendship? You bastard! How did he know? Oh shit, yeah. Sighing with relief, the troll leads you backstage while explaining that he is a promoter for this wrestling ring. One of the trolls that was supposed to perform tonight was eaten by some plant called a troll devourer catchy grabber. As such, famed muscular theatrist Nikki Mula has been left with nobody to fight. You'll be that nobody or somebody. An alien will bring in all sorts of media attention and controversy, which of course means big bucks for him and friendship for you. Nikki is so friendly, he says, in a tone so insincere, even your friendship-addled brain refuses to believe it. It's okay. You've met worse. Okay. Now, it's another culture. You know, I'm the coolest one here. All right. Dumbbell. Why sharp edges? It's just dumb. That's it. I said it. I'm culturally sensitive, but there's a lot of things I've seen in this plan. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. Why the dumbbell, the sharp edges? Is it so you're scared that you might cut yourself if, like, you do in proper form, if you drop it or whatever? Also, just storing them in general will just be a pain in the ass. Like, why? Nikki, you are the professional here. Why do they do dumb things like this? Takes him to a back room, which seems to be full of performers waiting for their turn on stage. There are all sorts of trolls here, muscular and sweat-soaked, blue-blooded more often than not. One troll in particular stands out to you, from her severe expression to her softly pulsating robotic leg to the fact that she's the only troll with a fully illustrated sprite. She's currently doing bicep curls instead of spiked weights. Huffing with exertion, when the promoter approaches, she looks up with a scowl. I'm busy. He begins to explain that he has brought a new challenger for her to face, but she cuts him off and stands up. She isn't as tall as you expected, but damn if she isn't dense, packing more brawn than any troll you've met. You want to know what happens, sister, to people who are disturbed by preparation? Do you want to? Experience the bone-crushing, torso-shattering impact of these ladies right here. She flexes. God, those muscles are huge. Pro tells her that she really doesn't need to keep up the act. There's no camera back here. She gives him a stern look, which distinctly suggests that she has never dropped kayfabe in her life and has no intention of starting now. Make it quick. If I could do the Macho Man Randy Sandwich voice without killing my throat, I would be doing it right now. I just want you to know that. But I do need this throat for Wednesday. Rome makes it quick. So, let me get this straight. You expect, or I do Mr. Satan. But I'm already feeling that itch in the back of my throat. That I already did some damage by doing that voice earlier. You expect me perform with this thing. He seems less than impressed, which you find reasonable. Magnificent legs aside, you don't really look like the wrestling type. Don't you dare indulge me, sister. I'd rather you pulled arrested from the audience and subject me to this humiliation. Oh, but you are more than just an audience member. Frail though you may be, you have the heart and soul of a wrestler. You have long, much longer than about 5 minutes, to be thoroughly sure, waited for an opening such as this, to reveal your true passion to the world. Come alive on stage and grapple and tumble with the best of them. For eons have you thirsted for the chance to sing the song of sinew, the hymn of heft, the melody of muscle. Would that you could be blessed by the opportunity to live the life of the athlete. Form alongside your hero to show the world that you too love to do the muscly thing. You might just. Okay, I get it. She glances over at the promoter and then back to you. It does seem surprisingly articulate for a lesser being, but is it ready? For a blood-quenching, flesh-abrading, knuckle-blistering, muscle-rippling smackdown from uptown. Get that bad route. Also, you don't see it because I'm in front of it. There's a poster that I'm hiding with this beautiful illustration. Kind of a babe, I'll say that much. because as you know, I love women. Let's do the bad route first. Actually, this is starting to sound a little much for you. You aren't sure you can quite match her. Rikku cannot get enough of women, this to be true. You aren't sure you can actually match her enthusiasm for the craft. Who do you think you are, sister? You who has a globe to step up to me. You come into my dressing room with those flimsy, stringy, insultingly puny arms of yours? Look me in the eyes and challenge me to a match. Beg for the chance to spar with me, and then cluck out like the pathetic alien whelp you are. Get out of my sight. Yeah, that was kind of the plan. Head bowed low, you retreat to the safety, comfort, and from this expanse that is the audience. Can't even bear to look at Nikki when she goes down and performs. You're so saddened by the loss of a potential chum. Well, that and it's kind of grisly watching her pull low blood challengers from the audience and smash their faces into the spikes. That could have been me. Oh my gosh, that could have been me. I wish that was me. Yes. You nod your head confidently. Blister my knuckles and abrade my flesh. You say, let's get this smackdown started. You got guts at least. Turns to Pro and gives him a curt nod. Match is on. Then she turns back to you. Now, sister, we need to discuss this show. I'll make all the decisions. You respond adequately to the storyline I present. I will be thus. The alien invader challenges me in an exhibition match to topple the mighty Archie. They fight valiantly and show an entertaining display of strength. But in the end, as it is right and proper, the nobler hue of the hemo spectrum prevails again. Fish people need to die. She starts flexing and showing off an imaginary audience before turning back to you. Any questions, sister? You actually do have a couple of questions. First, will you die? No. Unless you're particularly disgustingly weak, in which case, maybe. Her eyes light up with excitement. But she wants to put on a good show. She is a true professional. Such is the risk we take, we who indulge that most noble and dignified of sports. I was willing to give up my leg for the craft. Is your life such a heavy price to pay for a tale that will transcend us, be remembered in the annals of muscular history? Is it, sister? Well, it's rhetorical. Right. Secondly, when she says exhibition match, it's a muscular theater term, referring to a match staged for entertainment that does not affect one's ranking in the flexo-ladder. We will not be sparring in the nude. Such glorious displays of Ra's Jiggles physique are reserved for the intergalactic Trolympics. No, yeah, okay, you get that. Most of you are wondering if it meant the loser's head being exhibited on a pike or some other bloodthirsty nonsense. Do not denigrate this noble sport with claims of savagery. Thirdly, you're getting the sense that she's going to be playing the heel, yeah? The what? You explain that in your own culture of Polino muscular theater, performers really fall into the category of face or heel. Where in the face is the rule-abiding, sympathetic figure the audience is meant to root for, whereas the heel takes on a more aggressive and unlikable personality. Are you calling her unlikable? Bro, she's a professional. Fuck you, man. Like, yes, they're a professional heels winner, but like, I don't think just her telling you like this is how it's gonna go, you know, that you, the novice, I don't think that makes her a heel. Well, part of my personality is unlikable. Yeah, fuck you, MC. You dare suggest, sister, that the odds won't be roaring in thunderous applause and admiration as I conquer yet another pitiful foe? Tell her, you know what? She can be both the face and the heel. You'll just be subjugated under my heel. Yes. Yes, exactly. MC, you're getting it. You're doing a fantastic job. Oh, shit. Hey, Moolah, chatting time's over. You're up. Why is this guy? I don't like this guy. Like, yeah, his nipples are out, but why is he in the towel just talking to someone? I hope she punches him. It's like, what the fuck, my guy? She jerks her head back at you and silently marches out of the room. You cause an entire debate on troll anatomy. Give me a second. How do I do this again? Options. Help. Here we go. Help. With the nipples. You guys probably didn't let you say that in the chat. Didn't we we already learned they had nipples from Malik? Yeah, I think there's like some mention of Malik. But, like, I know they didn't say anything on like in arts, but like I think it was mentioned like he had piercings, like, or just maybe another piercing. I thought they like pretty much like said like, oh, he has a nipple piercing or whatever. I guess that would be a cause for nipple pulls. Okay. I guess, yeah, it's like, why do they have nipples if like they don't, you know, do the mammal thing? They're just essentially larvae / pupae that evolve into this. Yeah, no, I can see that then. Yeah. Well, folks, we have some technical difficulties, but here comes the match you've all been waiting for. This game caused so many wars and questions on things and divided the community. Huh. I guess I just don't really see why or how, though. Maybe it's they're just still because I don't know when this came out in comparison to the other media. But like, I can guess that if it came out after Homestuck epilogues, and maybe Homestuck 2, I don't know in the order things came out. Depending on what piece of content came out, people could have been more sensitive, or no, sensitive is the right word, to certain content being released, and that any change could be viewed as bad or differing from what they believe to be the lore / the norm, because of the precedents that other pieces of works may have introduced. This came out after Hiveswap run the baits are caused because troll anatomy has never been explained in canon. Yep. Besides the whole getting birth from genetic material or whatever. Again, I just bring this up because if epilogues came out after this, I can see people being more sensitive. But if only Hiveswap Act 1 has come out before Pest Request, or Homestuck epilogues, like, I feel like then more confusing. And again, the only reason I bring up Homestuck epilogues is because I know that's the came out during Hiveswap Friendsim. Okay. I can also see that adding to the fire, because as I've heard, that story is kind of not well regarded. So when you have something like that that's being released and people kind of view it as a affront to everything Homestuck, and you have this and starting to do like very little things like nipples, like, it could just be the thing that it was drawn, no one gave two thoughts about it, and they just released it. Like, it passed through the checklist because, like, okay, the only real thing they were checking was like, okay, there's trolls here, there's lockers, they got like some things in there, everything looks good, and no one really focused on the nipples. It could just be that, because no one was really thinking about that, because to us nipples are very normal. And so you have someone doing a quality check and that just slips their mind that trolls aren't the same as humans, so that just gets through. It's like, oh, it's just something that went over your head so much, because you have the things that really stick out about trolls, like the gray skin, the horns, then like their hemo spectrum thing somehow it's represented for most of them on their clothing or eyes or whatever. It's like you see the nipples. That's not something you're actively looking out for, because again, you know trolls is this. You see this other thing and it just slips your mind through less quality shirts. And they didn't really see it to be something that needed to be changed at all. So it could just be as simple as it was an oversight. No one was thinking about this. And then, that happens and it's like, oh shit, yeah, they don't have nipples. And they're just like, do we go back and patch it? And it's just like, eh. Like how Mandalore just did a video about it recently where it was The Thing, the video game, where you are part of Bravo Squad because in if you do the way that the army does, what is it? Alpha, Bravo, I forget what C is, but things like that. But then to a programmer, it goes Alpha, then Beta. So he was part of the Beta Squad in the original game, the original version. And it was just probably, and like he theorized that it was such a last minute thing that if anyone ever caught on, it was like, oh, we can't really change it now. So everything referring to your squad was Beta Squad. You were the betas. When instead I should have been Bravo. And that's just my idea of why that's kind of a thing where maybe an artist has come out and said that, but my first reaction to all this news is that it just wasn't in anyone's mind during final check-ins, essentially. They're making this weekly, yeah, they have time or whatever, and like maybe they may give themselves, I don't know the exact release history. But again, I think it all boils down to it just flew over to people's heads when they're making it. The sound got through and it's like, oh, well, shit. Wearing the belt of champions and the leg of her own design, she's ready to gut the competition. A paragon of power. I can't go any. My throat. She's ready to gut the competition. A paragon of power. A lady of legwork. A true blue ruffian alienator in the making. Clap those hands and activate your screech crevices. It's Nikki Moolah. Nikki approaches the cage, just thunderous applause, raising her arms and soaking in all the praise. What the fuck? She flexes and poses as the audience throws glasses of milk at her, which shatter uselessly around her steely frame. This appears to be a common ritual for her. When in Rome. When in Rome. She steps through one of the cage doors and it slams shut behind her, locking tight. Her arms crossed and her teeth firmly gritted. She awaits you as the announcer begins a new intro speech. You step forward. And in the other corner, frail in stature, weak in knees, wearing a perpetual look of befuddlement, we have some messed up low blood alien. How was this absurd mockery of life not being called yet? Perhaps only so fate could lead them to their thrashing at the bloodthirsty hands and barbed foot of the Grand Nikki. A decent portion of the crowd boos at you during your approach, which you find unsurprising. You have to dodge a hail of old boots and rotten fruit. Somebody throws an entire piano at you. That is hilarious. Relatively unfazed, you enter the ring and hear the door close behind you. So, you've come here to prove your kind superior to the unbreakable, unstoppable troll Yeah, you shout. Your kind is so superior to trolls. And you, their emissary. Does this creature look superior to you, my theater enthusiast? She turns to the audience, throwing out a hand and gesture to you. They boo. Is this sorry specimen the best its plan can offer? More boos. You counter that you came more than prepared to tackle the mighty Archie. Yeah, that. So you claim to be prepared. But are you prepared to face these 24 and slither noodles. You flex it so hard the announcer's sleeves explode. So be it. I'll crush you in a single blow. You're expecting a referee to start the match, but it then occurs to you that there is no referee. Somewhere in the distance, a bullhorn sounds, which is apparently the signal to begin. Without taking her eyes off you, Nikki grabs the cage vault behind her and hoists herself up effortlessly, scaling in reverse until she reaches the top. The announcer screams something about this move being called the Spiky Nikki. Oh no. Once you finish your ascension, Nikki deftly leaps from the edge of the cage and spins down towards you. Her body twists and writhes in multiple blindingly fast flips before her robotic leg comes slashing at you. You spend quite some time admiring her dazzling form before it occurs to you that you should be probably moving. You duck and roll forward, feeling the point of her leg just barely graze your scalp. The announcer shouts, "First blood," as you feel a little trickle down the back of your neck. Some members of the crowd are booing, presumably because they just noticed the color of your blood. Between the neon lighting and distance, they probably just think it's rust-colored and not a mutant red. So at least you have that going for you. Oh my gosh. She's going to fucking kill you. What you don't have going for you is time to think about your next move, because Nikki pivots on her heel and charges at you. This time she's going for a more theatric throw. Two powerful hands grab you and lift you over her shoulder, where you nearly gore yourself on one of her horns in your struggle to escape. You plant two hands on her back and push hard, and you are delighted to find that her grip loosens and you go tumbling over her back, landing with clumsy stagger on your feet. You're not sure if she let you get away with that one for the sake of the show, or if you just slipped out of her sweat-soaked palms, but you're going to charitably assume the former. She turns to face you, grunting and baring her fangs. She charges, rearing back a fist, and then setting it barreling towards your fragile human nose. Really, by the way, only narrowly dodging it. All you've done is avoid me, coward. Where's your killer instinct? Do I scare you? Are you loath to face me? What? I don't love you? No, I said loathe, you idiot. You loathe. I will never go out with you. Duck Dodgers was great. It was a dumb show. I liked it. True blue, muscle-bound beauty. Take this as your cue to attack. And instead you run full tilt away from her. It isn't fear carrying you, you swear. Ooh, there's no running or hiding from Nikki Moolah. Stand and fight. She sprints towards you as you flee. The crowd is on tenterhooks. Nobody knows what you're doing, least of all you. You think you can pull something cool off of this. You leap the cage while barely dodging the spike that line it, and use a slight amount of give in the chain link wires to springboard you off. With an exuberant grin, you go flying toward her arm. Going toward her, arm held out for a classic clothesline maneuver, and then you collide with her. Then you collide with her own arm and bop. Dead. Oh, there's her training room. Why is there an S&M whip there? Why is there a bloody knuckle there? When you wake up, you're relying on what appears to be an exercise mat. You can feel a telltale throbbing sensation in your face that indicates a black eye. The rest of you, thankfully, doesn't feel particularly hurt. Nearby, you can hear the huff and puff of exertion. You glance over and spot Nikki training on one of those leg press machines you always see in gyms, but never had the courage to attempt to use. Leg presses are fun. She's wearing an exercise outfit, which, despite its vastly different purpose, looks almost exactly like the outfit she wore in the ring. It has all the functions a fitness aficionado would want. It's loose, it's breathable, and the artists don't have to draw a second set of sprites for it. As soon as she notices you're awake, she turns to speak to you. She doesn't even stop her workout. Finally awake, sister. Welcome to my hive. I've spent so much time, so much precious, valuable time waiting for you to open your eyes. Oh god, how long have you been out? About 40 minutes. Oh, that's not so bad, is it? perhaps, but only when compared to your abysmal performance in the ring. To be knocked out cold by your own attack. Wretched. I am an impossible foe to conquer, yet even a Rusty has towed me long in the realm of mortal combat. You are weak, sister, offensively so. She slams her foot forward with such velocity, the weight of the leg press goes flying off and leaves a dent in the floor. Grunting, she stands, takes a long swig from a bottle, and then approaches you with fire in her eyes. What do you have to say for yourself? You scuttle backwards. Pro offering only a sheepish smile. You're, sorry, you guess? I didn't bring you here for apologies. I brought you here to see your heart ignite with the will to improve. You are not a worthless being. You have a flair for the theatrics and appreciation of the sport, and a shining soul filled of only the most intractable determination. You can be so much more than you are, sister. Are you going to build me up into a respectable, rebellious figure? I can make you so much more. Cast your gaze around you and behold, the Brawniseum. You will be able to cast that gaze around. This room is massive and littered with training equipment as far as the eye can see. Much of it resembles exercise machines like the ones you had in gyms back on Earth. But there's plenty more that looks far more alien and deadly. A treadmill which appears to throw the runner into a vat of acid if they fall off. A series of swinging axes that would look at home in a dungeon. 3 different varieties of Iron Maidens, each more horrific than the last. There's also presumably Nikki's personal workout studio, which you could easily mistake it for a torture chamber. Or if Arteta has ever considered a job as a personal trainer. Maybe you should bring it up with her. There are some who may be worthy of my expertise. It is here that I can forge them, just as I forged myself, to beings of an adamantine strength. The journey will be harsh. If you are made of weaker stuff than I believe, you will perish in agony. But if your core is strong and your will of iron, yours will be unquenchable might. She extends a hand to you, her jaw set. Join me, sister. Together we shall ascend to Tumset heights of muscular perfection. There's a look in her eyes that you have never seen before, one of hope, of faith. Her arm vibrates, muscles quaking. Do you take it? Sorry about that. My nose is a war against me. Oh yeah, I'm taking her hand. You take her hand, staring into those hopeful eyes. Oh, to see that deep sapphire blue filled with the glow of friendship. Squeeze your hand so tightly you feel your fingers fracturing. Excellent. I knew you had the spark. Now to make flame, to grind, and crush, and pummel the flint, until it bursts into the roaring blaze of strength. Today I shall begin by testing your limits. Come. She leads you to the treadmill and the deep, bubbling pit of acid directly behind it. You nervously step on. We're going to measure your speed and stamina. It's pitiful. Run until you can no longer run. She starts with the machine. She gives you a nice, breezy jogging pace at first. But the treads quickly begin to whir away at a blinding speed, at a blindingly fast rate. You're sprinting as hard as you can to keep up, holding desperately onto the arms of the treadmill. Come on, sister, grit your teeth, put some thrust sinew into it. If you're not evacuating your ass track by the time you're done, you aren't trying hard enough. Sweat beads on your forehead as you push your legs to the limit, running like you're being chased by an angry drone. Your feet must be blurring like Sonic the fucking Hedgehog by now. The treads are moving even faster, and you can almost feel yourself slipping. God. To hold. You lose your grip and go flying backwards, nearly crashing onto the edge of the pit and dangling onto it. Your toes singed by the acid. Youch! You hoist yourself up over the edge and roll to the side, hissing. Nikki stands over you, plucking her tongue. Top speed, 12 miles per hour. That's good, right? For a bronze blood. You've seen my blood. Leave me alone. Next test. She takes you from machine to machine in quick succession, each time commenting on your skill level. Your biceps are as trouble as Rusty's, your lungs are gold at best, your legs an unexpected cerulean, all the while taunting you, encouraging you to push yourself further. The desiccated corpse of my ancestors could do better than this. You struggle to deadlift a giant barbell made of dead monster skulls. Are you going to inject dismay fluid all night long? Or are you going to woman up? You go toe-to-toe with a punching bag that shoots sonic blasts at you whenever you hit it. Shape up or get ejected on the near solar execution barge. You sob as she forces you to do 30 minutes of free-form jazzercise. Your jazz hands are terrible. This one just feels like a personal attack at that point to the MC. This is like probably the one thing they're like, oh yeah, I got this, and then they hear this, and then yeah, they're gonna start crying. By the time an hour is up, you are panting and huffing, desperate for a break. Nikki finally relents. Your reward for staying alive thus far? Stay hydrated, sister. And cement. It is literally just cement. She tosses you one of those protein shaker bottles that gym buffs are always clutching from. You regard the mixture of him curiously for a moment before throwing caution to the wind and gulping some down. When has imbibing alien substances ever hurt you before? When the flavor hits your taste buds, you almost retch. Is this Gatorade mixed with milk? Corner my gun. Nutritious and delicious. You keep chugging it. You need the liquids, foul though they may be. Alright, lactose break over. Let's continue. She next leads you over to one of those Iron Maidens. This one doesn't actually look spiked. It just has a blunt, bumpy surface on the inside. Get in. What? Get in, sister. You reluctantly step inside the Iron Maiden and the door is clamped shut around you. This thing is far, far too tight for you, and the bumps are pressing into you from all sides, trying to squeeze you away into nothing. You groan and push back against the walls, desperately trying to keep from crushing you into a little human waffle. Just when you think your strength is about to give out, the maiden opens. Pressure resistance. About olive level. These results are surprisingly adequate. Your potential continues to shine. Good work. This halfway point seems to mark a change in her attitude as you continue to just barely persevere through everything she throws at you, like a shake weight so powerful it leaves you shuddering intermittently through the next few exercises. Keep steady, sister. Don't lose heart on me now. A rowing machine that douses you with boiling water if you don't keep up the pace. Go, go, go. We'll make a fuchsia medalist out of you yet. Literally being chased around a field outside by a giant toothy monster. Don't you dare allow this thing the satisfaction of feasting on your bow. After hours of this grueling work, you finally collapse. You think some of your bones are broken, your heartbeat is coming in quick and irregular pulses, you can hardly breathe. Your vision blurs and shifts at the edges. God, you're amazed you haven't passed out yet. Get up. Look at her. She's proud of you. Bro, that's a smile where it's like, yeah, this wasn't fucking worth it, but I appreciate it. You glance weakly up at Nikki, expecting her to be looking down at you with disdain, but instead you see her crouching down and offering you her hand. Wearing a smile, you take her hand and she pulls you up to your feet. The look on her face now resembles pride, and when she claps a palm down on your shoulder, it only kind of hurts. You've done well, sister. I threw everything I had at you and you soldiered on with head held high, even as your body broke beneath the weight. I have never seen such commitment, such strength of heart and soul, such dedication to the craft, such appreciation for the most righteous of pursuits. You are no mere workout partner. You are a workout friend. Oh my gosh, and she has the tears that glitter in the light. A light blossoms inside you like the neighing of a horse. This feeling of power, of strength, of bond between warriors. This is real and true. And this light will never, ever leave you. As you bask here in the satisfied and sweaty glow of a good workout, you realize that planets, universes, dimensions, realities, powers, principalities, and cosmos come and go. But being swole as fuck is forever. So, from what we learned from this, the most, well, it just continues to be proved, the most admirable thing about MC in terms of strength is their legs. Up to a strength of a surprisingly cerulean, apparently. Now, I mentioned this before. I don't know. I'm pretty sure this is a chess person. I am 95% sure this is a chess person that is now called part of greater humanity because of the end of Homestuck. And I don't think we may have learned actually the power structure, but if they're actually able to improve, I'm very interested to see where it comes out to. Because I don't believe they have the low system that the true proper humans did, which is like Jade, Dave, John, and Rose. Hell, I think even the trolls had level up systems as well, but that might have been done away with in the new universe. I don't know. Something I'm gonna have to learn later on. I really like this sprite. I really like this sprite over here. Time for the press team. Oh no. Nikki was just fun. I'm surprised it went as well as it did. Daria. I'm just calling Daria. All right. Nikki is just living life, her best full life, and she just wants to share it with you. Oh, one moment. Your feet drag as you walk, every limb heavy and slow, and your thoughts are cloudy and dull. Your palm husk is filled with unanswered texts. You feel guilty about this. In the back of your mind, where real feelings live, crammed together, the front of your mind is too busy being lethargic and numb. Being a bad friend goes against the core tenets of your beliefs, but answering texts just seems like too much effort. You're not sure where this particular malaise came from, just that the unusual friend-making anemus that drives you is still there, but doesn't feel strong enough to overcome how tired you are of everything else. You can't quite remember how it felt to care that much about companionship and camaraderie. In fact, right now you can't even remember how it felt to care about much of anything. Your thoughts drift to fantasies of driving your car into the uninhabited Mediterranean desert until you run out of fuel, perhaps letting the sun have its way with you. It could be the part of that feeling that you've almost made all the friends there are to make, and that there's little left for you to do on this planet. It could be weeks of trauma catching up and sinking you into depression to protect you from thinking about it all. Interesting thing that it all a thing about it all is capitalized. You know what? I want to have some faith. I don't think that's a spelling error. I think there is meaning behind it. Either way, it just feels like so much effort to do anything. And you'd sort of welcome and blame him if he showed up right now to offer its sweet embrace. Your listless walk is taking you to a familiar neighborhood, the cerulean part of the town. You smile as you reminisce, sweet memories peeking through like beams of sunlight through the fog of your apathy. Not far from here is Malik's Hive, with all of its hacking equipment and charming upper middle class atmosphere of entitled and complacence mixed with vaguely socially aware concern. And though you've only seen pictures of it on Shitter, you know that Ramili's hipster art studio Hive is also in the neighborhood. And one block over is Artita's, which gave you your gruesome and troubling introduction to alternative social norms. One more, one taught you love, one taught you patience, one taught you pain, or something like that. The hive you're closest to is actually Elward's, and as much as you shamble closer, you realize that a lot of other trolls seem to be converging here too. Fishing out your palm list, you see that the unread message from Elward is an invitation to a party at her place. You look around you. You feel a flame of your old desire to meet and greet rekindling in your heart. There are plenty of trolls here you haven't met yet. Plenty of opportunities for friendship. Now roaring fire in your belly feel oh my gosh. The now roaring fire in your belly feels a little artificial, like someone just injected you with a friend-making hormone to let out your regular human melancholy. But you're not going to complain because that is vastly preferable. As you're walking briskly towards Elward's hive, you spot a troll lurking in the shadows by Elward's back door. Curious, you approach, and when you're closer, you can spot the jade green in her outfit. Although, there's not much of her blood color in comparison to what most other trolls seem to sport, because she's mostly wearing black, and spikes, and black spikes. It's you. Guess it makes sense you'd be here. You're probably friends with Elward. Huh. Whatever. Yeah, you're friends with Elward, but you didn't come here for the party. You're just here in the neighborhood, trying to mimic Daria's disaffectionate slouch. It's not hard, as you can just channel the you from about 60 seconds ago, who was very disaffectionate indeed. From the approving arch of Daria's eyebrow, you think you're doing a pretty good job. Yeah, parties are lame. Most parties are anyway. This one might be cool. Elward's pretty cool. I mean, she seems alright. You blushing on me, sister? You can't be honest with yourself? You can't just admit you want to see L-word? I don't think she's that cool. I just think her hair and clothes and personality don't completely suck is all. Ah. Would L-word even take to you? Because she, as she puts it, likes to take good girls and make them bad. You think you got a shot, sister? You factly don't comment on the green blush to Daria's cheeks when she's talking about L-word. Nor the way she keeps glancing at the door like she's hoping someone will invite her in. She's clearly trying to sneak into this party and doesn't have an invite. When a branch snaps in the bushes, Daria startles and looks around shiftily. You wonder if she's supposed to be out here on her own this far from the caverns at all. Not a baby like Wanshi. So what if I snuck out? Of course the rules are so lame. Bronny's so lame. Couldn't believe Elward used to hang out with her. But I guess if she hadn't befriended Bronny, then I never would have met her. It's hard to meet non-Jade Bloods in the caverns. All the time running around with nothing but Lucai and grubs and the same stupid Jades every day. It sucks down there. Daria imitations. Daria's imitations grow on board. Bracelets cluck as she folds her arms over her chest. Her heavy makeup makes it look like her eyes are twin black holes, where all sense of fun and caring about things might go to die. She's giving you a marked contrast from how Bronya talked about the caverns, with the peace and quiet and safety they offer compared to Alternia's surface. Other than that time Lyria nearly killed you in the cave, and that time you were nearly trampled by a raging blue cyst, you remember liking the caverns. You would think that. I don't know why I thought you might be cool. You might be friends with Elwood, but you're also friends with Bronya and Lyrna. They're the two most boring trolls on the planet. You can't help but feel slightly defensive of your friends. Sure, Lyrna is Lyrna, but you wouldn't call her boring. And Bronya's very fond of rules, it's true, but she can hang. Whatever. Conversation's dumb. I don't care if you can't get me the party. Nothing matters anyway. Just make your stupid choice and get on with it. What the hell? It's not your job to keep anyone in line. It's not like you have a great understanding of why the older Jade Bloods need to stand around anyway. Daria wants to sing in at parties and get in trouble. Who are you to say no? Daria expresses no pleasure at your decision to get her into the party. She just shrugs and rolls her eyes. You shrug and roll your eyes back. You can play the role of disaffectionate teen with the best of them. You take her around to the front door. Hey, you're looking forward to seeing Elward again. When you met her, you didn't have nearly as many friends as you do now. In retrospect, you know you came off kind of Siskiophanic. Wouldn't it be great if you could introduce Elward to the new, popular, knowledgeable you? As you're walking up the steps, a huge shadow dwarfs yours. You look up to see who of all trolls grinning above you. Well, hey, little one. I remember you. Who's this new little one you got with you? Kurt switches her interest from you to Daria, grinning down at her. Daria isn't huge for a Jade or anything, but she seems absurdly tiny with Chahoot blooming down at her like this. Her face remains impassive and bored, but she scuffs one of her big black boots on the ground and twists one of her spiky braids around her wrist. Cute. Don't see many little Jades outside the caverns. I've always found greensies fascinating, so devoted to the continuation of the species. What a holy mission. You know, I haven't read the text box yet, but just from that expression alone, I too would be fucking terrified. And rightfully so. Try to move slowly and lazily like she has all the time in the world and no conceivable reason to rush, and reaches out to pat Daria's shoulder. She lets her hand linger, one claw resting above Daria's neck. Daria, I'd be fucking terrified too. Yeah, I would go from not caring to I care. I'm scared. I'm terrified. Ain't it a dangerous proposition to be so far away from your green brothers and sisters? Unless you're hiding something in those pretty veins. Shut. What the fuck are you doing? A slimy chill runs down your spine. Daria seems frozen to the spot, staring straight ahead at Chahoot's bosom in front of her. You think Chahoot is joking, but it can be hard to tell. With clowns, their humor is just so much more highbrow than anyone else's. Just joking. This looks like a pretty good party, even if L-word is too blasphemous for my taste sometimes. See both of you little ones inside. Daria, let me be frank. I know we don't care about this party, you especially. What do you want? Do you really want to go in there? She's suggesting she might be a mutant. Oh dear. So Daria, you want to speak? You want to deal with that? That's a clown. You want to deal with that? And then she ambles away, bending down to duck inside the door to the party. You hear party sounds, music, and laughter, clinking drinks, and what could be the sound of someone being murdered, which qualifies as a party noise on this planet. Then the door swings shut again, and you and Daria look at each other. Daria's heavy makeup can make it hard to read her expression, but you can tell she's still rattled. You know what? Looks like this party is filled with lame conformers. All these high bloods that buy into the system and do what they're told, even hell would. We can find something better to do somewhere else. Yeah, the hell of this party. You're down to find your own fun, especially if that means not putting Daria in the way of potentially murder-happy clowns. Okay, that's a nice sprite for her. She just looks cute there. As you saunter away from the party, you realize that Daria is looking at you expectantly. Well, you've got this reputation for being all unconventional, weird, and rebellious. Everyone seems to think you're totally fucking with the conventions of society or whatever. So you got any suggestions for cool shit to do? God, you sure felt a lot of pressure to be quirky since word has spread about your manic pixie dream alien ways. I feel like you're trying to be a vehicle for other characters to project onto, assisting character growth and insight for those around you, while your impulse decisions and carefree ways somehow keep yourself stagnant, forever unchanging. It seems to sometimes be like that. Hey, when you're tired, and it's daunting to have a punk teen expecting you to come up with suggestions for cool stuff, you have a feeling that she's just going to shoot down whatever you suggest. You rack your brain trying to think of anywhere from your many adventures that Daria might like. Your think pad comes up with zilch and squat. She's starting to look bored of you. Realizing that you can't think of anything is probably an option if you want Daria to be your friend, and as exhausted and disillusioned as you feel for your societal routine, you like her and you want to bond. You know, I feel like a decent option would be, what do you want to do? You're the rebellious one. You're the one who wanted to leave the cavern. And I guess this is the thing is she's asking you is she wants to know what you want to do, I guess. You tell Daria that you have no idea for cool things to do because everything on this planet is lame. But she's from here. Doesn't she know of any not place? No, because she's been stuck in the caverns. Yeah. No, I'm just... Oh, fuck it. Straight hoolums. Here's the thing. Your weirdest and best adventures have happened when you just decide to be spontaneous and let shit happen. Adventures and coolness are both hard things to plan. So what are you suggesting? That we just wander? Here's the thing I like about Daria and many of the Jades. Although a lot of them tend to take control, they really don't. Yeah, because they're stuck in the caverns, and that's what they learn, and that's all they really get to know. And then, oh, hey, one day you gotta join the space war. But they learn nothing about Eternia because apparently most of their time needs to be committed to taking care of the new grubs that come out, make sure Luci are behaving, and against societal norms, they try to make it so that every hatchling has a chance to grow up instead of being told. And that's kind of an interesting thing because Kanaya had, I guess you could say, the luxury / privilege / luck to have the troll chat app to connect with other people. And she herself is no slouch either. She was an actual menace as well. But she didn't grow up on Alternia. It was another planet. Which again, like, this could all be explained away by the thing of, after the events of Homestuck, they made Alternia just the base planet for all troll civilization. Instead of doing, like, the troll planet thing they did originally, they're like, no, fuck, Alternia is now the hub. And then I guess you could also explain Karkat being so far away from everyone else is because he was a Rust Blood, so he's kind of out in the boonies, essentially, as they would call it. Her derisive tone makes you hesitate, but, well, yes, that's exactly what you're suggesting. Daria gives you a long, considering look. You hold your breath. Then she shrugs. Okay, whatever, sure. Like I have anything better to do. Just go. You meander through the well-maintained cerulean streets, heading downtown. This seems like a good opportunity to get to know your new potential friend. So you start by asking her some fairly simple questions. I like her look. I think I like this sprite as well. I think this is a good one. How am I? Gee, I don't know. Ready to leave the stupid caverns, and as a Jade Blood, all I have to look forward is to a life of being forbidden to do things. How do you think I am? Okay, you try to walk that one back a little. It sounds like Daria is unsatisfied with the Jade Blood setup. That's one way to put it. You could also say that I'm unsatisfied with, like, the whole setup of my species. You've been here for a while now. Why don't you don't tell me you haven't noticed that every part of this society is transparent bullshit. He lets around. Because Daria's right. You've been around for a while. That means you know enough to know that if the wrong people overheard this kind of talk, you'd both get called on the spot. But everyone here seems distracted by their own nonsense. Cautiously, you can see that, yeah, you've noticed a certain bullshit aroma. Yep, it all stinks. No one has any kind of real future except for the highest of the high bloods. And actually, I've heard that things pretty much suck for them too. Some might say that Pearl Bloods are the most disprivileged class of them all. You're just going to continue to not comment on that one. Instead, you pointed at being a Jade Blood, Daria's purpose beyond just growing up to become father in the Imperial Army, like you've heard other trolls mention. Surely that counts as a real future. Don't get me started. Suffice to say, I'm not exactly hype about the purpose that I'm supposedly have. More like the purpose that was arbitrarily assigned to me. But it's not like I have a choice. Rebelling in any sort of real way would put me in danger of being of a calling. Life here is pretty much just hopeless. Damn, you wish you just had a good counter-argument. You want to give her some words of comfort, but what can you say? Daria's right. Shit's grim. At least you're honest. Thanks for not bullshitting me. You know, Liner said you were good to talk to about real stuff. I guess she was right. Huh. You're surprised that Liner is going around talking about you, saying positive things even, but you're more surprised that Daria is bringing you up in a non-derisive context. You didn't know that Daria and Liner were so close. No, gross. I hate Lyrna. And not in a romantic way. Or what? Girl, come on. Bro. Daria, bro. Daria, bro. Oh my gosh, are the nerd and the goth gonna hook up? OMG. Like, you can't be serious. This is just like my favorite rom-com. Anyway, never mind. Daria looks embarrassed and flustered and also pissed at you. At least you got the subject away from how hopeless everything is, but still, you don't want this friendship to sour. As you're scanning your useless brain for a tactile subject change, you're saved by the footsteps of a new troll approaching. As luck would have it, you know this troll. It's Tysius, which makes sense because your meandering has taken you and Daria close to Tysius' favorite book hive. No, it's you. What are you doing here? Never mind, I don't even need to ask. You're obviously making friends with this Jade Blood, searching for some dumb shit to do, no doubt. No, let me keep you. Tysius looks just as exhausted as you remember. You don't want her to just go yet? Because it's been a while since you've seen her, and you're always eager for an opportunity to catch up with a friend, especially one of the less murderous ones. Then you notice Daria eyeing Tysius' mug of unidentifiable liquid, and an idea occurs to you. You get excited, bouncing a little on the balls of your feet as you introduce Tysius and Daria to each other. You explain to Tysius with a meaning look that you hope she'll intercept correctly that you and Daria were just conversing about the more unjust aspects of turn aside and how hopeless everything seems to be. What do you mean, the more unjust aspects? Will Eternia have aspects that are just not unjust? Oh, that fucking grin of hers. Have aspects that are not unjust? It's like she's looking at me, it's like, yeah, I can get killed for this. What are they gonna fucking do? Kill me? Congrats. I'm sweeps into studying our legal system, and I haven't found any. Daria makes a muffled sound that could be a laugh. You make your meaningful look more meaningful. Doesn't Tysius remember that conversation he had with you about justice and about the shitty system? The importance of possibly futile work to try and improve things someday? Pissing? Tysius squints at you, then takes a long slurp from her mug. Right. Yeah, I remember. Wave your hand around. Now we're talking. They're gonna get cold. Get the fuck out of a city center. Go somewhere else. Go to your, now confiscated hive. Just don't do this here right now, motherfucker, please. Not here. You wave your hands around. Now we're talking. Tysius is one of the few friends you've made that seemed to not only notice that shit was fucked, but wanted to dedicate herself to unfucking the system, unfucking the shit as much as he could. Of course, many of your dear friends try to make the world a little better in various clumsy, interpersonal, distinctly Alternian ways. You think of Chixie striving for her music even when it puts her against high bloods. The baffling but sweet ways that Crony and Asja and Gallic and Tagora came for each other, and Fozer's commitment to political... Wait, why do you think about that guy? He's a total shill for the Condescents. Anyway, Tysius has a big picture mentality and a cause that she believes in, and the simple fact that she hasn't yet completely given up is inspiring. Daria's struggling with feelings of despair, so maybe Tizia's to talk to her about the work that she's been doing. But no, I'm not struggling. It's whatever. I don't even care. Daria kicks in the ground sulkily. Tizia looks over her eyes lingering on the jade symbol on her shirt and her spiky black jewelry, then sighs. Sure you don't care. Siri, not now. I went through a phase of telling myself that too. I thought I would make it easier to deal with. But nah. Susie pauses for another mug slurp, and you think she might be enjoying the opportunity to monologue a little bit. Daria huffs. The only thing that helps, and I'm not even sure that helps is the right word for it, is finding something to work on in your own little corner. To try and make shit a little less. There's nothing I can do in my corner. It's pointless to pretend otherwise. That goes for everyone. Like, this whole system is designed to help high blood stamp out dissonant in every corner. One troll can't do anything against something like that. Tizia's eyebrow twitches as she stares at Daria, clearly peeved at being interrupted. Oh, this could be going better. Well, no shit. What do you take me for? I'm not saying that all it takes is standing up and fighting for whatever's right or something stupid like that. That's obviously a surefire way to get cold. What are you saying? How can you even know what piddly little action you're taking will change anything? I can't tell you the future, dumbass. No one can give you a guarantee that any kind of action taken will be ultimately effective. You have to decide for yourself that it's worth it to try anyway. Why would you think it's worth it when everything around you confirms that nothing will ever change? I can't believe you're calling me a dumbass when that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. She looks like she's about ready to throw the contents of her mug in Daria's face. Knowing trolls, she'd probably follow with the mug itself. This is not the conversation you'd hope for at all. I still think this is the good ending. I still think this is the good route. You said before things get any more heated. You tell Tizia that you're sorry and you didn't flag her down just so her ideas could get shit on. Turn to Daria, who is staring at both of you with a defiant look in her face and a stubborn set to her jaw. This kid, she's just so dead set on rebelling against anyone who tries to tell her anything of even the faintest whiff of authority. You really thought that maybe all that attitude could be channeled into something productive that would also help her feel better and possibly even give her a sense of purpose. You're not mad, just disappointed. Well, don't give me that look. I was only stating my opinion. I guess I could have been less of a bone bulge about it. You're pleasantly surprised that Daria more or less apologized. Tizia looks mollified too. Shit just makes me so angry. Angry and sad and helpless. I don't even know what to do with myself when I really have to think about it. Bingo, unfortunately. I feel the same way. I don't think there's any getting around the helplessness. But what I was trying to say is that working on something that might help fix things someday makes that feeling a little less powerful. So what you're saying is that it's just about making yourself feel better? Well, when you put it like that, it sounds bad. I believe I'm working on things that might affect change someday, even if I'm not around to see it. But also, yeah, most of the time it helps me sleep at night too. Yeah, you know what this conversation is? It is, Tizia to me, as I've described, is essentially a college girl who doesn't do any of the partying, doesn't do any of that, is literally just like working a job and doing all of the classes essentially. She's not living that life like, oh my gosh, let's party. No, she is living that very real life. Oh, her parents like aren't paying for her college, or like if they had savings, it wasn't enough. She has to still cover some of the costs herself, or a lot of it. So she is working 24/7 essentially. And we have Daria, who is like essentially a teen, like someone in high school essentially, who isn't the most hopeful for the future. And it feels like this is like a very good conversation for her to have. Like, Tizia's kind of like understands what she's feeling, and almost to a point understands when she just snaps back at her. But I think that's really nice though, is because you fucking see how tired Tizius is. Like, she is just exhausted, the bags in her eyes. And then you have Daria, who's coming up in the world, And I know this isn't like because they're trolls or whatever, so. But I feel like Tizzy is coming up and saying, listen, shit's fucked, but try to do what you can in your own little corner. And that, yeah, my stuff might not amount to anything in the future. But that's the thing. I won't be here in the future. So all I can do is hope that it does. And that does help me sleep at night. Because Daria wants things to change. She wants to see them actively change. And she wants to know her stuff actually amounts to anything. Like anything she does. Like her actions have purpose. But if she doesn't realize that, she's kind of fucked. She's just setting herself up for a life that doesn't have meaning or purpose. And I really do love that Tysius is the one to give this talk. Because we've seen, or we've just read a lot about the struggles, like the whole system, the whole judicial system where it's not even real. It's essentially just someone always gets killed. It doesn't matter. I'm glad how much mileage they've gotten out of Tysius. She's just really good. I really like her as a character. She is just so real. Someone you've probably met, except she's put in troll society. But because of how real her character is, like you can connect to her struggles even more, despite it being a foreign culture. You can tell Daria is a bit disappointed by this. She doesn't trust that political rebellion can go hand in hand with making the rebels feel good about themselves. You pointed that whether or not Tizzy feels good about her work doesn't make the work itself any less effective. Yeah, in the end, the universe doesn't care about how I feel. I'm just one troll trying to do the right thing. Or at least the okay thing. For its own sake, even if it might ultimately be futile, what the fuck else are we gonna do on this bitch of an Alternia? You got me there. I'm bored all the time. There really isn't anything cool to do down in the caverns. I guess during the downtime my training could, I don't know, help you out maybe? Not that I have anything to offer other than the book Hive and the Jade Cloisters. Access to that might really help with my research, actually. Give me your number and we can talk. And there we go. Oh, all we have is this like this book selection. Oh, well, you know, I peruse through books for information for the system on this whole laceration or whatever, lacerators. Oh no, this thing that I perceived as worthless, someone actually like really would like it to be able to have access to that, and they're trying to do a good thing. Still, this small little thing I have to offer actually does have meaning, and from that, Daria has a bit of purpose and a little good feeling in her heart. Is it your imagination, or does this look a smidgen less tired? Bags in her eyes, less baggy, and her back a little straighter. You think the corners of Daria's lips might be very slightly quirked up. Daria turns her possibly a smile from Tizzys to you. This is cool, I guess. There, at least not so bad. But I don't know if this counts as something cool. So I guess we could keep hanging out until more shit happens. You know Daria well enough by now to recognize this for the ringing endorsements that it is. You're about to happily agree when Tizzy's pipes up. I'm just heading home from studying, but I'm not tired yet. You want a third wheel to drag along? Fuck yes. 3-way friendship combo victory. Oh my gosh, the nerd and the goth. Oh my gosh. So the purples and then the mutant jade blood. Stick with an old friend over a newer one. Befriend Lonque. So both of these are canonical. Both of these need to happen. You got to meet him. You're a clown. Pit stop. You just couldn't resist, could you? You introduced two kindred souls, the golden rule. True blue. You reached Tumset heights of muscular perfection. We're almost there. Yeah, pretty much tomorrow's the last stream for Friendsim, and then after that, wait, no, give me a second. So what we could do then is, just so we can get this out of the way, is I will do Friendsim tomorrow. We'll finish, and then Wednesday trying to think, give me a second. We can I want to start and end Hiveswap Act 2 same day. I don't know how long it is though, so I think I'll just set up for 2 streams. And then after that, I'll read the epilogues. And then during that downtime of me reading the epilogues, that's when we'll do Family Mysteries 2. All right, but yeah, that's the game plan. So then this will probably be the last week of Homestuck streams for a while, because when I do Homestuck 2 or Homestuck Squared, that'll be on the Discord. So yeah, I think this might be the last Homestuck stream for a while. Who knows? I might, just to oh perfect actually. So Wednesday and Thursday are Hiveswap Act 2. I don't stream on Friday anyways, so that's actually a good end to the week. If we manage to finish Hiveswap Act 2 on Wednesday, I'll do Undertale Yellow Pacifist maybe, just to piss off Pivot. We'll see. It depends on if he slights me or not again. We'll see. Yeah, that is the game plan. So everyone, we'll look forward to the finale of Hiveswap Friendsim tomorrow. I am excited, and then after that, we're going straight into the Hiveswap Act 2. And then finally, I can start reading the things that people don't enjoy too much, particularly. I think regardless, we'll have fun. So, thank you all for joining me. We'll look forward to tomorrow. And wait, no. Give me a second. I need to double check this. Wait, what? Am I going up or down on this? Okay. Yeah, so actually, while I do Tuesday night, I will start epilogues. And then I'll just go into Act 2 regardless. I don't think there'll be too much mention, but if there is, because I'm reading it at the same time, if there are connections, things will start to click, and that's it. Yes. Yep. So, everyone, thank you for coming. Have a good one. I will see you tomorrow for the finale. I'm excited. Take care. Have a good one. Bye-bye.